Welcome to our YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be looking at a mathematics question which has really been a request from most of the students. It has been a request. They've requested that we do a video on this question. If you have any question that you think that we should solve on this platform, a question paper from any year, any subject, okay, mathematics, English, biology, physics, chemistry, civic education, and history, you can ask any question from all those subjects so that we specifically do a video on that question. And for all those who are new to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bar so that immediately we post a new video, you will be notified. Without further ado, let's continue in today's question, or we look at what we are going to be doing in this video. So today we are doing a mathematics question from a 2020 GCE paper 1. Okay, the question is based on functions. It has been a request, specifically this question. It has been a request from most students because it was, okay, they say it was a bit crucial, while it wasn't, okay? And this is the question. So let's first read and understand what the question is saying. So the question is saying a function f is defined by f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. Find, the first question, A, the inverse of x, B, f inverse of 2, then C, the value of x if f of x is equal to 2. Now, if we look at how they prepared this question, we've only been given one equation, or the one which is trying to define x, or the function of x. That is the only equation we've been given. No wonder you can see that all these questions, they're just trying to talk of the function of x in short. In those other questions which have been prepared, you will find that we have another function of g, sometimes even g of h, okay? But in this question, they just had to give out one function or one equation. Now, how do we go about it? How do we find the inverse of x? That is what we'll be doing. Okay, so the function, okay, the function of f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. Now, they're saying that we find the inverse, okay? Immediately you see a -1 power, okay? The power of -1 here, which means that is the inverse, okay? So they're saying f inverse of what? X, which is equal to 2x minus 5. Why have I tried to write it in this form? Because the equation or the function that has been given is saying that f of x, okay, f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. The only difference between this and this is just this inverse part. So if f of x is equal to 2x minus 5, even f inverse of x is also equal to 2x minus 5. Okay, now when we're finding the inverse, the main thing here I always advise is just making sure that x becomes the subject of the formula. X should be the subject of the formula. Now, in this case, if we want to make x the subject of the formula, we cannot do it if we have this thing or this part which is saying f inverse of x. So what do? We replace this whole thing with letter y and equate that to the same thing. The reason why I'm saying that, or why we're doing that, so that it will be very easy for us to make x the subject of the formula. This is what we have here. So we have replaced this whole thing with letter y. Then from there we can make x the subject of the formula. You know that these are unlike terms. We cannot say 2x minus 5, which means this 5 should cross the equal sign. Or you can rewrite it in this form, whereby you say 2x minus 5 is equal to y. It's the same. This and this is just the same. Okay, so we can proceed now by saying negative 5 crosses the equal sign. It comes this side, and we have something like that, whereby 2x remains alone. When negative 5 crosses the equal sign, it becomes a positive 5. Now we want to make x the subject of the formula, so which means we just divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is what? 2. Okay, then 2 into 2, okay, 2 into 2, that is a 1 here. So 2 into 2, that is a 1, which means x remains independent. Or if you want, commonly we say this one and this one cancels. Yeah, but I hate that concept because they don't cancel, they divide. 2 into 2, that is 1. 1 multiplied by x, it remains x. Okay, so we have something like this. So we're going to now say x is equal to y plus 5 divided by 2. Now, I've seen in most instances, or in most of the papers I've been marking, some students who leave the answer just like that. They would consider that as a final answer. Dear friend, this is not the final answer. Was the question saying we make x the subject of the formula? No, that's not what the question was saying. Okay, so if we leave it here, which means the only thing which we've done is making x the subject of the formula, but that is not what the question is. Okay, so what do we do from here? We can now replace this x with f inverse of x. Okay, we bring back this, which we replace with letter y. Okay, so we'll bring it back here where there's x. We'll say f inverse of x. Then here where there's y, we'll remove this y and put x, because we didn't have this y in the question. We just had to replace this with the letter y so that it becomes easy for us to make x the subject of the formula. So it is very important you go up to that final stage. Okay, don't leave it like this. Markers like me will mark you wrong, because we have not told you to make x the subject of the formula. The question is saying we find f inverse of x. So our final answer will look something like that. And take note here, those typing error. Here we're supposed to have x in brackets, like the way it is written here. So we should have f inverse of x is equal to x plus 5 divided by 2. So I've replaced this y with letter x. Then here we should have an x in brackets, like the way it is here. We are just getting this whole thing, we put it where x is here. Then here where there's y, we put x. And that is how we answer the first question. As simple as that. Then let's go to the next question. So the next question is saying we find f inverse of 2. Okay, so this is where it becomes tricky. At least for some of my students I gave this question, they managed only to answer the first question. Why? Because only in this paper we saw the introduction of this concept which was tried to be shown in this question, whereby they are using the same function. Okay, they're using the same concept. In short, they're saying f inverse. Now, what is the difference? Why are they saying f inverse of 2? We cannot find f inverse of 2 minus knowing f inverse of x. Okay, why do we say so? Look at what I'm saying. So here, what I've tried to do here, I've tried to combine two functions, okay, because I cannot find f inverse of 2 without knowing f inverse of x. That is the first thing that I should find. This one which I've written here, okay, I should first know f inverse of x, okay, so that if I find that where there's x here, looking at this other equation, where they're supposed to have x, they've put a 2. So if I find f inverse of x, which means where there's x, there's a 2. Okay, now where has this come from? Where has it come from? I've just combined the two functions, f inverse. This f, if take for instance, if I exclude this f inverse, we'll only remain with f, which means we're having something like f of x. Okay, if we exclude f inverse, which means what we're having is f inverse. Now, which one is the function of f of x? It's this one here. Okay, it says the one which is in the question, okay, where it is saying f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. That is in the question. It is there in the question. Okay, so here what we've tried to do, we've just combined these functions, f of x, which is this equation. This is f of x. Okay, this is f of x. Okay, then where there's x here, where there's x, take note, where there's x, we put the other function, which is f inverse of x. That is where the trick comes out. Okay, where there's x, in most cases I just say go for the first letter. Which one is the first letter? F is the first letter. So what is f of x? F of x is 2x minus 5. Okay, if f of x is 2x minus 5, where there's x here, we put f inverse of x. Okay, what is f inverse of x? This is f inverse of x, which we found in the previous question, which is x plus 5 divided by 2. And this is what I've done. Here, we were supposed to have an x, but what I've put here is f inverse of x, because I want to combine the two functions, which is f and f inverse. I combine them. Okay, so that after that now, 2 and 2, or 2 into 2, that is 1. Which means we only remain with x plus 5, then minus 5. Okay, and here please take note, don't forget the brackets. Okay, some of us, whereby if you are critically thinking, you will not, okay, here when I multiply 1 throughout, it's the same thing which will come out, so there's no need of doing that. Okay, yeah, so this is what we are going to have. So we're going to have f inverse of x is equal to x plus 5 minus 5, because 2 and 2, that is a 1 multiplied by x plus 5, that is x plus 5, then minus 5. Okay, then here we can say these signs are different. When the signs are different, you subtract. Okay, when the signs are different, you subtract and maintain a sign from the bigger number. That is the concept. When the signs are the same, now in that scenario, when the signs are the same, we add and maintain the same sign when the sign is the same. But in our case, the signs are different. So when the signs are different, we subtract and maintain a sign from the bigger number. So which means we have something like that, and that becomes our final answer. So which means f inverse of x is equal to x, because here which means the signs are different. So we subtract 5 minus 5, that is a 0. So only remain with x. So this is f inverse of x. Now I said we cannot find f inverse of 2 minus knowing what f inverse is. Okay, so since we have now found it here, we've found that. Now if you compare this equation and this one here, the only difference is this 2. Where there's x, here there's a 2, which means the value of x is 2. So we'll just finally say this side f inverse of 2 is 2. Okay, f inverse of 2 is what? 2, because f x is equal to x. Okay, f inverse of x is equal to x. Then f inverse of 2 be what? Will be 2, because where there's x here, they've put a 2, which means even here where we have x, there's a what? There's a 2. That is how we find this question, or that is how we deal with this question. Let's go to question C. So question C is asking us to find the value of x, and they've tried to make it very simple for us because they've given us the equation. Okay, they're saying f of x is equal to x. F of x is equal to what? X. Now we need to find the value of x. What does this mean? F of x, we don't have this. Don't think that this is what is here. No, here we're having inverse, so f inverse of x is x. But now what about f of x? Do we have that? No, we don't. So we just find that. How are we going to find that? We use the same concept we used here, combining the two functions. Here I had to combine f of x and f inverse of x. I combined them, but here I'm combining the same function, which is f. If I remove this one f, I'm remaining with f of x. If I remove the other f, again I'm still having f of x. So it is the same function being repeated. So we can just combine the same function and we have something like this. Okay, so f of x is equal to this 2 and negative 5 is representing f of x. Okay, this one, if I remove this f, it becomes f of x. So that is being represented by 2. Here in brackets we're having x. Okay, so when we're combining functions, where there's x, you replace with the next letter, which is f of x, which is the same function now again, which is 2x minus 5. Okay, so here now we just get rid of the brackets by multiplying throughout. So 2 by 2x, that is 4x. Then 2 by negative 5, that is negative 10. Then we say negative 5. Then here these signs are the same. When the signs are the same, you add and maintain the same sign, because the sign is the same, so you just maintain the same sign, and we have something like that. So f of x is equal to 4x minus 15 when we add these two and we maintain the same sign. So this is f of x when we combine the two functions, when we combine f of x. Now we go back to this question because the question is saying we find the value of x. So here while we have f of x, we can replace with this because we already have it. Okay, f of x is equal to 4x minus 15. So here we can put that, then we get that to what? To x, and we have something like that. So f of x is this, which is 4x minus 15 is equal to what? X. Then here now, simple mathematics, we collect like terms. X comes here, then negative 15 goes the other way round, and we have something like that. So what is 4x minus x? Which is just 3x. Okay, which is 3x is equal to what? 15. Here we need the value of x, so we divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 3. So 3 into 3, that is 1. 1 times x, that is just x. Then 5 into 15, I mean 3 into 15, take note, 3 into 15, that is 5. So the value of x is 5. As simple as that. If there are any questions from any of the questions I've solved, you can please drop a comment in the commentary box. Mind you, if you want to be seeing more videos like this, or if you have a request on a question from any past paper that you would like us to solve, please, you can drop a comment in the comment box. Thank you very much.